If I just play the basic notes, no, we're going to be in D, so it starts a tone below. That's all the refrain is. The verse would be and repeat. The verse continues with the same bit of music as the start refrain. Then you come in with the refrain again. So that's the basic tune. Nice enough, can be danceable. So the question is, what do you do with a simple tune? If you haven't got a singer, you have to make something of it. So just play it around a few times. So that's just an interpretation, just playing some things, chances. So in that case, if I were accompanying, certainly on the refrains, I might play the refrain. that type of thing, up and down, a few simple things. So that also informs the company with different notes. So you can put in extra notes when there's a long note, or between other notes you can put in these low notes. So things like that. So I'm going, holding a note down. That sort of technique, you can do all sorts with that. You've got a lower note that's sort of an accompaniment, and then you've got the main tune which you're sort of flicking in between. So when the notes aren't too fast, it's quite easy to do that. And it's quite effective to put in a trumpet on those notes. So for that bit of the tune, that phrase, instead of going, which you could do, a bit boring, I'm usually playing more buzzes and more notes taken from this sort of simple accompaniment. I said I might only go outside the mode by changing the B and B flat, which I did sometimes at the start of. In fact, let's just go to the start. The notes being, I'm usually adding extra notes in. Again, it's the holding down the note, that's the C there, whilst I flick the other one. Often putting a bit of a sort of trill on it. Sometimes. But the bit about going outside the mode of using that B flat, what I did towards the end was put it down there. When I did that, I was usually, when I got that note, which is a long note, I'm still thinking I'll keep my sort of accompaniment going. So the C, so I'm going. So I'm putting it in there. And sometimes coming on the run down, doing the same thing, using that B flat. So I'm jumping down fifth, jumping down a fifth, the next note fifth, fifth, and then third. Or to go from the beginning and do the phrase like that. So there's some extra notes. Trumpet-wise, the rhythm of the tune to start with. I'm not just doing that. You could do, I tend to really always play it's nice, and it's not informed by anything medieval, it's probably more just making it danceable. The note would come on, if I did a buzz per note, it would come on position 3, but I'm not playing 3, I'm not coming until 4. And I could be going, but I'm not, I'm blowing 4 into 1. So the buzz is after the first note, the second note, the buzz is delayed, it's coming in later and then blowing through to the next one. So instead of and coming up from the bottom, I'm often making that, blowing it a long one, going over the top again. that little chord. If I do that and go on with the phrase, I'll often do that. I'm putting fewer buzzes than notes to start with, but when it ends up on that note, I might put the opposite, a few more buzzes in. So a little bit more buzzes on the note, whether or not I'm playing other notes. So in terms of buzz per note, on average, it's sort of a buzz per note, but sometimes there are extra buzzes, sometimes there are long buzzes. It makes it more interesting, I think, to have it not exactly fitting a buzz per note. Likewise, if I was playing a harmony line, I'd probably not want to follow changing with every note of the melody. It does happen in some music, some sort of medieval stuff, conductances or whatever, but I prefer to do it this other way when it's not quite this note per note. It moves slightly differently for contrast. Another thing I was doing towards the end was putting in some little triplets on that run down. With or without the trumpet, you know, you can play without. You get this sort of thing in 14th century music. You get suddenly whole runs of triplets coming in, which I find quite exciting. So I try to throw that sort of thing in lots of music, really.